It is Friday the 7th of September. My name's Gareth Evans, this is Pretty Good Gaming, and welcome to your daily dose of gaming news. I have got loads of gaming news to talk to you about today, but let's start off with Red Dead Redemption 2. Everybody's favourite, most anticipated upcoming game, right? With Red Dead Redemption 2 only a matter of weeks away, Rockstar has been up to its old tricks again, this time teasing info on the game's characters through a series of tweets. Over the past couple of days, Rockstar has published over 20 tweets featuring the members of the Van der Linde gang along with quotes from each of the characters. They feature John Marston, Dutch Van der Linde himself, and the protagonist this time around, Arthur Morgan, as well as what we can assume is every single other member of the Van der Linde gang. They feature new characters to the series like Mika Bell and Sadie Adler, who you may recognise from earlier trailers, also featuring more recognisable characters like John Marston's wife Abigail and everyone's favourite character of them all, a young Jack Marston. We love you, Jack. These are just the latest drip-fed nuggets of info that we've gotten out of Rockstar so far about Red Dead since the game's announcement. Rockstar initially announced the game back in 2016 with the debut trailer coming in October of that year. And then nearly a full year later, in September 2017, Rockstar released the second trailer with the third following in May of this year. And we had to wait until August of this year, a mere 2 months before the game's actual release, that we got to see any gameplay whatsoever. And this is the Rockstar way. They do know how to build hype and expectation and anticipation for the games. Just about enough information to get you excited. They know people love the franchises, they know people are going to buy the franchises, they know people are going to lose their shit. All they have to do is just tease a little bit here, tease a little bit there, and the internet goes crazy. Not that I would do anything. I would never do anything like that. And looking at these pictures that they've teased on Twitter over the last couple of days, they're doing this very specifically. They're getting you familiar with the gang. All these characters that you will be spending loads of time with in the game. The whole game is centered around your experiences in the gang, and the gang is like part of your family. You have to move around from place to place because you're getting chased by the law. So the characters are really important, right? So you get to know the names of every single one of them pretty much. And also a little quote from them, so you get a little nugget of information about each of the characters. Not too much to overwhelm you, just a little bit. It's very clever what they do. It's very clever. And with over 20 members of the gang, obviously they're all fully fleshed out NPC characters you can talk, interact with, have relationships with. That's just the start of it, right? Rockstar worlds are known for how big and immersive and how expansive they are. All the other characters, all the other NPCs as well, on top of what you've got there, just adds to this whole complete package. Again, just reminds me how much I'm anticipating this game. I'm not going to say I'm hyped, but I'm just highly anticipating, let's put it like that. I, for one, really appreciate the way that they're dripping information out here without just dropping your trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer like a lot of other people do. How do you feel? Do you think that they're just like playing with us? Would you prefer more solid gameplay trailers or info, or are you like me? Are you really hyped for the game and it doesn't matter what they've released, you will buy it day one anyway because the first game was one of the best games ever made in history ever? Let me know your thoughts about any of that and anything else that you think about Red Dead Redemption 2 down in the comments below. Digital gaming marketplace Steam does cop a lot of criticism, but it seems Valve are now trying to finally fix one of the problems that's been burning away at people for some time. Back in May, developers behind games and visual novels containing adult content were told by Valve to either censor their games or have their games removed from Steam. And perhaps unsurprisingly, it didn't go down too well, with many in the gaming community criticising Valve for restricting player choice. Because if players want anime titties, damn it, they should be allowed to have anime titties, am I right? Well, in June, Valve had a change of heart and announced it will be allowing everything onto Steam unless they are illegal or trolls. Since then, most games with adult content have had no problem releasing on Steam. And now in a blog post dated September the 6th, Valve have finally unveiled their new filters, one for games that contain mature content and another one for adult content. Overall, the reaction to this news has been very positive. Mr. X101 on Reddit gave their take on the matter and it sums up a lot of people's feelings quite concisely. Good on Valve, they're giving their customers choices instead of forcing things. A lot of people get confused when other people have majorly different views on certain things. I personally, for example, have a hard time understanding why people are offended by violence or sexual content in art/media/video games, etc. But that doesn't make the other people any less of a human being than I am. We're both customers and we both deserve to be able to control things the way we want to, as long as we're not harming others in any way, shape or form. So Steam have added these filters so you can filter yourself. They're putting everything on Steam and they're saying you control what you see, you control what you consume. So if you want to filter out mature content, adult content, sexual content, any of that, just stick the filter on, and all your search results and all your front store page and everything like that will be devoid of all of that stuff. The concern for me with filters is that if you stick on a filter for like violent content or something like that, then you might inadvertently filter out games that you would normally not associate with violent content. Things like The Witcher 3, for example, is one game that it's not centered around, you know, violence and nudity, but there are those aspects in the game. So those filters would filter out that game in your search results. However, Steam have come up with a solution for that. They'll tell you that, oh, there are a certain number of games that are filtered out due to your filters. Do you want to see them or not? And you won't get to see those results unless you click the button saying, I'm okay with seeing the results for nudity, violence, and all that. That's a pretty good workaround, if you ask me. I, for one, am a huge fan of what they've done here. Allowing people player choice is, you know, number one, if people want their, you know, mature content, they should be allowed to get it. Valve should not be able to be the judge, jury and executioner and decide what is worthy of you buying or not. And Valve shouldn't have that power, and that's what they're doing here. They're saying we shouldn't have this power. You give it all power, and I applaud it. I congratulate them for what they've done and the mature way that they've gone about fixing this problem that the community as well as developers, a load of developers have borne the brunt of this for ages, and they're now free to sell their games on the open marketplace like they always should have been able to. All we need now is a filter for dodgy asset flip games. Still waiting on that one, Valve. In case you're worried when you're going to get your daily fix of gaming news nuggets, they're right here. Spider-Man is a game you've probably heard of recently, and unless you've been living under a graphically downgraded puddle, you'll also know that it launches today. The game got a new cinematic trailer to accompany the launch. One of PGG's games of the year last year, Hellblade, is now half price on Steam until Monday. Speaking of sales, Humble Store have launched their summer sale with many heavily discounted titles. One of the best deals I've spotted so far being Deus Ex Mankind Divided on sale for just £3. Black Ops 4 Blackout, the Battle Royale mode, got a new trailer. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw finally gets an hour-long gameplay demo, and this is very exciting for me. I can't stop talking about it. It's awesome. Lego Harry Potter Collection was announced to be coming to the Switch and Xbox One on November the 2nd after almost 2 years of PS4 exclusivity. The Xbox One and PS4 versions of Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition are available right now. However, the Switch version is not out just yet. They say it's scheduled for release soon. Long Story Short is the name of the first of 2 Nier Automata graphic novels releasing in English on October the 9th. Surgeon Simulator was announced for the Switch. That's coming complete with motion controls and local co-op play on September the 13th. A demo for Mega Man 11 launched on Switch last night, with the Xbox One and PS4 versions releasing today. And in case there wasn't enough Fortnite in your life, Fortnite-themed Monopoly and Fortnite-themed Nerf blasters were both announced yesterday. And H1Z1 is getting a mobile version, and that will be called Z1. No news on release of that yet. And last up, if you want to get hold of your very own PGG merch, t-shirts, hoodies, clocks, mugs, laptop skins, stickers, all that kind of stuff, links for that and everything else that I've mentioned today in the nuggets down in the description below. Bit of a confession next, I guess. I spent half an hour trying to take off my girlfriend's bra the other day. Gave up in the end. Probably shouldn't have put it on in the first place. Thanks to Metal Shark for today's joke that he posted on the Dad Jokes channel on the PGG Discord. Thanks very much, dude. Appreciate that one. As a little extra little joke, I heard a joke yesterday on the TV show Uncle, which is awesome, by the way. And that one goes like this. What do dyslexic zombies eat? Brians. Brians. So funny. I was laughing out loud at that one. I guess you had to be there. It's all in the delivery. Online gaming news outlet Eurogamer claims that the HD remake for Rocksteady's Batman Return to Arkham on the Xbox One is, quote, the most disappointing Xbox One X upgrade we've seen. The article does expand on how and why the game has earned this dubious honour, with frame rates and screen resolution being the main source of contention. Batman Return to Arkham is a compilation of 2 games bringing Arkham Asylum and Arkham City to the current gen of consoles, with both the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X receiving enhanced editions. Both of the Arkham remasters target a 1080p display. However, they reportedly failed to actually achieve that, only showcasing 1024 by 1080 instead. Eurogamer state that these sort of figures should be what the base PS4 and Xbox One deliver for the remasters. In terms of frame rates, well, they are capped at 30 frames per second, removing the 20 FPS found on the base consoles. Eurogamer notes, while frame rates are locked to 30 FPS on the X, the game is subject to pockets of irregular frame pacing. In terms of remasters for current gen consoles, you'd expect 60 FPS, you would expect maybe 4K, at the very least a decent 1080p, right? If you can't manage either of those things in a remaster on current gen hardware, what is the point? Honestly, what is the point of remastering the game? Maybe they've had problems with the port, with the new engine, or whatever. Still, you have to have some sort of standard. Well, don't waste your time. THQ Nordic are quickly becoming notorious for acquiring rights to trademarks, IPs, and dead franchises. Yesterday, it was announced that the rights to Kingdom of Amalur had been snatched up by THQ Nordic. The studios bought the rights to plenty of other well-known franchises such as Saints Row, Dead Island, Homefront, Metro 2033, and more recently, Time Splitters. Time Splitters is, of course, a critically acclaimed franchise that unfortunately hasn't seen an entry since 2005. As for what THQ Nordic will do with all these rights, for now we can only speculate, but perhaps a port of Kingdom of Amalur and a HD remaster of Time Splitters would be a good start. That's it for today's daily dose of gaming news, and that's it for this week. We'll be back on Monday with some more of the freshest gaming news around. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when that video goes live. I will see you then. Bye for now.